Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about soulbound tokens. SBT, short for soulbound tokens, are a new concept in the cryptocurrency industry, but the potential for them is endless. Even the creators aren't entirely sure how many use cases are possible for these new tokens. What we do know is that they will be stored in your soul, or rather a ledger within your soul. This concept can seem a bit confusing at first, but bear with us and by the end of this video, you'll be an expert on soulbound tokens. So let's start with the basics. What are soulbound tokens? The easiest way to describe soulbound tokens is they are non-transferrable NFTs. Now let's dissect this phrase a little more. I'm sure many of you are familiar with NFTs, but it's important to understand what they are before we get into how soulbound tokens differ. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are digital assets that are unique and not interchangeable. This is in contrast to fungible tokens, which are, like their name suggests, interchangeable. Fungible tokens are what most cryptocurrencies are, such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. NFTs, on the other hand, have been gaining a lot of traction recently, as they provide a way to own digital assets that can't be replicated. And the list of potential use cases is only limited by our imagination. So now that we know what NFTs are, let's get back to soulbound tokens. NFTs can be transferred from one person to another, but soulbound tokens are different in that they are non-transferrable. This means that once you've acquired a soulbound token, it is permanently bound to your soul. The souls are a Web3 decentralized application that allows you to store and manage your soulbound tokens. It's important to note that you are not actually storing the tokens in your soul, but rather in a ledger. It can never be traded or sold and can only be used by the person it is bound to. So why would anyone want a soulbound token? The most obvious reason is that soulbound tokens cannot be replicated. This makes them incredibly valuable as they are one of a kind. But there are other reasons too. Soulbound tokens can be used to store data. This data can be anything from your personal preferences to your health information. And because the data is stored in your soul, it can't be hacked or stolen. Soulbound tokens could also be used as a form of identity. You could use your soulbound token to prove that you are who you say you are. This could be used in a variety of situations, such as online banking or voting. For online banking, your soulbound token could be used to prove that you are the rightful owner of an account. And for voting, your soulbound token could be used to prove that you are a registered voter. The potential uses for soulbound tokens are endless, and we're only just scratching the surface. Imagine token gaining features of a metaverse to only those that went to a physical course event and achieved a certain level of certification. As the metaverse develops, citizenship could be tied to a soul-bound token. This is important because if someone can just buy their way into a country, it takes away the meaning of citizenship. Metaverse games that spawn avatars at random would benefit from soulbound tokens because their rights within a metaverse jurisdiction can be bound to the character. This can create a more realistic experience for users as well, as it provides a new way for game developers to monetize their games. By offering citizenship programs and courses for avatars to travel and buy property in an alien world, we can bring people closer to the dream of living in a metaverse. Since it is verified on the blockchain, guards from token-gated metaverse jurisdictions can open IP access to those that possess a soulbound token that shows that they completed the program. This can lead to a more secure and realistic experiences for users in the metaverse. Even in the physical world, soulbound tokens can be used to prove ownership of property. This could be used to combat land grabbing and help people prove their ownership of land that they have occupied for generations. Rather than transferring the legal ownership of property, soulbound tokens allow for the owner to keep their rights while renting out or licensing the use of the land. By having a soulbound token, you can also be sure that the person you're interacting with online is who they say they are. This brings us back to the use case of non-transferrable. NFTs are currently transferable, but how would that be fair when it comes to certifications? Imagine if you completed a 4-year university course and someone else just bought the same degree as an NFT. With soulbound tokens, this wouldn't be possible, because the token would be permanently bound to your soul. By verifying that someone truly has the qualifications they claim they have, we can trust them more. This could be used in a variety of situations, such as hiring or even online dating. When it comes to dating, we often worry about catfishing, but with soulbound tokens, you could be sure that the person you're talking to is who they say they are. This would make online dating much safer and could potentially lead to more meaningful relationships. For example, if someone has a soulbound token that is a record of their criminal history, you would know if they are in danger to you or not. If someone could just transfer those negative aspects of their soul to someone else, that's not safe for anyone. Now, you might be thinking that this can lead to some dystopian future where people are judged by their soulbound tokens, but that's not necessarily the case. Yes, soulbound tokens could be used to judge someone, but they could also be used to help someone. For example, let's say you're a recovering alcoholic and you have a soulbound token that proves it. If an employer can see that you've completed a verified program and have been sober for some amount of time, they might be more likely to give you a chance. The same could be said for ex-offenders who are trying to turn their lives around. With soulbound tokens, they would be able to prove that they have reformed and are now law-abiding citizens. This could help them get their lives back on track and provide them with opportunities they wouldn't otherwise have. Now, the dystopian point of view is that soulbound tokens could be used to track people. And yes, that is a possibility because some would argue that anything can be used for evil. But that's not the whole story. Soulbound tokens could also be used to track people for good. For example, let's say you're a victim of domestic abuse. With soulbound tokens, you could keep track of your abuser and make sure that they are never able to hurt you again. This would be a powerful tool for victims of abuse and could potentially save lives. Another criticism of soulbound tokens is that it is being compared to a social credit system. In China, there is a social credit system that tracks people's behavior and gives them a score. Based on that score, people are given opportunities or denied them. But the soulbound token is not the same as the social credit system. The social credit system is centrally controlled by the government and it is used to control people. The soulbound token is decentralized, and it is up to the individual to decide what they want to do with it. It is not used to control people, but to empower them. This technology is still in the early stages, but experts suggest that it's possible to have multiple souls. For example, you could have a soul for your personal life and a soul for your work life. This will allow you to keep track of different aspects of your life, and it would be up to you to decide what information you want to share. The idea of multiple souls might sound far-fetched, but it's not impossible. In fact, some religions already believe in multiple souls. This technology can be an extension of that belief, and it could potentially change the way we live our lives. Rather than being bound to a single identity and overseen by a central authority, we could have multiple identities that we can share or keep private. This decentralized multiple soul system could potentially lead to a more inclusive and tolerant world. In a world where we are constantly being judged, soulbound tokens could be a way to break free from that. So while there are some negative potential uses for soulbound tokens, there are also many positive ones. It's up to us to decide how we want to use this technology. Now let's explore some more use cases. Bound means that this token is linked to your soul, so it can't be transferred to anyone else. Only you can use it, and it's a way for early startups to keep vested interest. This can be done by having an early investor not be able to sell their tokens for a certain amount of time, which incentivizes them to help the company grow. This could be used in a variety of different ways, but the key point is that it's non-transferrable. This means that the token is linked to your soul and can't be transferred to anyone else. Another possible use case for soulbound tokens is data ownership. With traditional Web 2.0, our data is owned by the centralized platforms we use such as Facebook or Google. But with Web 3, we can use our own data, and soulbound tokens could be a way to do that. For example, let's say you have a soulbound token that is your social media profile. This would be a way for you to own your data and no one could take it away from you. If you have some amazing tweets, you can assure that no one else can delete them or change them. They would be stored on the blockchain forever. And by proving that you are the author of the tweets as you navigate through Web3 and Metaverse games, you could potentially get paid for your content. So how does soulbound tokens work? The technical details are a bit complicated, but we'll try to explain it in layman terms. Basically, soulbound tokens are stored on the blockchain. This means they're immutable and can't be changed or deleted. And because they're stored on the blockchain, they're also secure. No one can hack into the blockchain and steal your Soulbound token. To create a Soulbound token, you need to have a digital representation of yourself. This could be your social media profile or your crypto address. Once you have that, you can accept a Soulbound token from someone. This is how you would bind your soul to the token, and once it's bound, it can't be transferred to anyone else. Only you can use it. So if you're thinking about investing in a Soulbound token, there are a few things you should know. First of all, Soulbound tokens are still in the early stages of development. This means that there are a lot of risk involved. The technology is still new and there are a lot of unknowns. So you should only invest if you're comfortable with that risk. Secondly, Soulbound tokens are not like traditional investments. They're more like a gamble. You're investing in the potential of the technology and not in a specific company or project. Finally, this video is meant to showcase a new use case of the blockchain and how it has the potential to change the world. It is not financial advice and you should always do your own research before investing in anything. Now, I know this can seem like a sci-fi concept, but trust me, it's real. As more and more creators become familiar with its functionality, we will start to see some amazing innovations in the space. If you learned something new today, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.